What do you do for fun?
I am a cave diver.
A what?
I am a cave diver. I use scuba equipment to dive into overhead environments in springs and sinkholes.
Why do you do that?
Because it's fun.
That sounds dangerous. You are crazy.
I use highly technical gear with multiple forms of redundancy. I have years of experience and have gone through no less than a half-dozen forms of training to prepare myself. I also follow strict rules and limitations that provide a very high margin of safety. Very few people have died in cave systems that are diving safely within their limits of training.
That sounds boring.
It's actually a lot of fun. It is one of the most challenging and rewarding activities I have ever encountered. I learn something new on every dive.
Wouldn't you rather swim with lots of fish on a pretty coral reef?
I love open water diving. Unfortunately, the closest reef to me is 8 hours away. I also love shipwreck diving, but chartering a boat to get to reefs and wrecks costs $80 per trip. I can get to some of the best cave systems in the world within an hour in any direction, and admission is usually around $5. I often go diving after work and am home in time for dinner.
I don't know. I would be claustrophobic.
The systems I dive are rather large tunnels and rooms. You could drive an 18-wheeler through a few of these passages, and other rooms are as big as a house. I am not interested in fitting myself into the smallest cracks I can find. I enjoy large cave systems.
But I've heard of people taking off their gear to fit through holes that are too small to fit through.
I am not certified to do that, and I don't need to. I enjoy large cave systems.
What could you possibly see down there? It sounds like it's just a bunch of rocks. That sounds boring.
I have seen some of the most magnificent sights I could ever imagine while cave diving. It feels like flying through a miniature version of the Grand Canyon. I regularly find ancient fossils of reefs, shells, sand dollars, sea urchins, and animal bones. Navigating around each bend and dip in these tunnels is fascinating, exciting, and unimaginably breathtaking.
I could never do that. What if you freak out down there? That's not for me.
No one will ever simply take you to the back of a cave system if you are not prepared for it. It's all about progressive exposure, practice, and becoming comfortable with your level of training. There are 4 levels of cave training, beginning with entering areas of the cave where daylight is visible. That's called the cavern zone. You are correct, cave diving is not for everyone, but I suggest going to a dive site where open water divers are specifically allowed to enter a large, easily accessible cavern, like the main ballroom at Ginnie Springs. It will change the way you look at cave diving.
No way. I would be too afraid of an accident. It sounds like you are not responsible.
It sounds like you have already made up your mind about this without seeing it for yourself. Let's move on. What do you do for fun?